Hey guys, this is Jacob Cass, and I'm a graphic designer that specializes in logo design and branding. And today I just wanted to talk about my process for coming up with this brand for Montage Travel, which is a boutique travel agency based in Europe, and they craft custom itineraries for travelers around the world. And you can see there's quite a number of different directions here. This is kind of the shortlist that I got down to. The client was pretty open-ended with where they wanted to take this, so pretty fun to explore these different directions. And yeah, I'm going to talk a bit about the process of how I came up with this idea. Is exploring my artboard, which is what you can see here, pretty manic. But yeah, there is some method to it when I'm actually going through the process. And I'm going to talk through it today, a bit about how I came up with each idea. And if you've seen any of my other process videos, you would have been familiar with this type wall, which is basically just different fonts all on the screen. I use find and replace to swap out the name each time that I work, and it's just a good quick way to get a feel for different fonts. So is it caps, is it lowercase, is it title case, and so forth. So it's a good thing to come back to. Another handy tool I use is this brand personality slider, which allows me to get onto the same wavelength as a client, and I just get them to place this little ball where they think their brand is in their head, and it's a good thing to come back to. It doesn't mean that we have to do that for the logo or the brand, but it just has a little direction. So with that in mind, I started exploring different ideas. I guess this was one idea I explored, using little icons to create a letter or motif, and yeah, just use little icons to create an M. Didn't end up showing this, I thought it was too busy, but here's another idea I explored using the plane, and I didn't present that, but that was one idea. But I did like this idea of using the M to create a montage, so I explored that a little further with the M as well. You can see me exploring the different colors and using transparency effects and spacing, just going on a tangent and experimenting. Then I went into a type-driven approach, where is it overlaid letters to create like a montage effect. Is it a butterfly? Because they're pretty elegant, they fly. I love this idea of using the lines to create this, I guess, feeling of planes like flight paths, if you will. That was my thinking behind it anyway. And yeah, just a color version also is very different to the lined approach. So explore different options there. I think I went on a bigger tangent somewhere else. Up here, using different typefaces, different colors, they have different feels. So here's the other idea of using triangles as the motif. Could this triangle be used further in the identity? So I'm thinking beyond just the logo, how could this be used later down the track? Is it triangles like this, or like this? That's what I explore at the same time. Here's another idea that I used of just mixing up the letters. It's very out there. Obviously there'll need to be like a version that you could read. I think I went on this tangent down here somewhere. Yeah, so you can see where I got the idea for this from a Shutterstock image. I just typed into a stock site montage, and this is what came back. And for some reason, I just thought, like, would these letters fit there? So I looked at that and created that, and then maybe like a version that did a little bit more streamlined like this. And then from there, I moved into other versions that are maybe a bit more playful, straight, tiered, and so forth. So you can see how my ideas kind of spur from some inspiration, and then I go and sketch some ideas on paper and then translate it onto the computer. It's just a lot of back and forth. Where else can I show you what other ideas? Here. So this is the direction we ended up going, using the montage of kind of blocks, if you will. You can see how I experimented with different shapes and colors. This bright color palette was a little bit too bright for them, so we ended up changing that to this color palette, which I actually got from here, which is a reference material. So this is where I got the color. Oh, this is where I got the butterfly idea as well. And you can see how you just can get this, you get a base idea, or there's probably a million butterfly logos out there, but it's just improving on an idea or exploring an idea to make it your own. And yeah, you can see it, the different colors and lines make a different effect as well. So these are all reference materials that I've just grabbed from the web, and it's a great way to get your mind thinking, getting creative, just borrowing bits and pieces from everywhere. And that's the secret to creativity, is just borrowing from others. There's no like 100% original idea these days, and it's just about owning it, improving it, and coming up with new ideas as new and improved versions, I guess. So this is the shortlist. I end up putting this all together on like a PDF, one logo per page. I don't usually show this many logos on a first presentation, but this client was more open to it, so I showed more options for this time. Just one logo per page. I really love this butterfly idea, and I want to talk about the differences in how typefaces can change the overall feel of a brand. So this kind of shows that, as well as the different color versions and line versions. So you can already start to see how much things change. Like if you change this to blue and silver, it's very premium, whereas something more lowercase, can be a little bit less premium. Or this is very elegant, or this is a little bit more approachable and fun. So yeah, type plays a big role, and that's the reason I showed this, is so we could have a conversation of seeing where we could position them in the market. And yeah, so that's that page. Yeah, moving on, I showed this idea of using the M as like a capsule for using it in photography and so forth. Using the M as triangles. The leaded approach. I don't know what's happening there, but it's a bit. So yeah, one logo per page, different typefaces, just to have a talking point to show the differences. And in the next rounds, we can revise the logos and the type to something that's more on brand or better positioned to the next stage. So after a couple more rounds, we ended up going with this color palette, and we turned the logo into different. We added the tagline and different orientations for the logo, built out a business card and more typography, just to see how it would work all together. So that's the process I used, and yeah, there's no real method to the madness, but I hope that gave some insight on how I use reference material, experimenting with type and color to come up with different ideas for the logo and brand. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Do you have the same process? Yeah, let me know. Thanks.